and gentlemen, I say good morning to every one of you all, and I welcome you to the first Lagos State Employment Summit 2020, which, like I said, is the maiden edition of the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund, aimed at discussing remedies that address unemployment and the future of jobs in Nigeria and in Africa.
It's very heartwarming to gather here to have critical conversations on job creation, wealth creation, as well as the leading practices and case studies that have brought about increased opportunity for many to become employable and to gain employment. If there's one issue that is on the mind of our governor, if there's one issue that is on the mind of EXCO, if there's one issue that is on the mind on every single household, is job creation. There's no one that doesn't feel that this is a critical issue. And so we're pleased that we are part of that process of solving that very important issue.
This is not an option, but a choice that we as discerning and forthright leaders must make to guarantee a sustainable future for our children and youth. Today, the Lagos State government, through LSETF, is taking another important step towards deepening our efforts and approaches to galvanize innovative ways to expand our capability to enable employment generation in Lagos State.
As cities grow in population size, the need to provide the capacity to manage the citizen demand is paramount. Considering this reality, Lagos State government continues to devise strategies to address these challenges. One of such interventions is the establishment of Lagos State Empowerment Trust Fund, which was established by the Lagos State Empowerment Trust Fund Law 2016 to tackle unemployment through the implementation of job and wealth creation policies, programs, and strategies. Through this summit, the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund and invited experts in the field will identify challenges, showcase leading practices, share learnings, and success stories that have helped in achieving these job creation efforts.
Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure this morning to come to stand before you, to be a part of this institution, this agency of government that has been deliberate in the work we do, in making sure that we create wealth and entrepreneurship opportunities in Lagos State. How do we do that? And that's what LSETF is about. Our vision is to create employment and entrepreneurship opportunities for all Lagos residents.
My name is Shami Surya Narayan, and I'm the Chief Impact Officer of Harambee Youth Employment Accelerator based in South Africa. Young people to move through linear pathways, straight roads, and we're not taking into account the potholes and the shape of the earth. We are forcing them to move through broken systems and then expecting them magically to find jobs and improve themselves.
What linkage you have in the school, that of curriculum, that of social development?
It's a really great one. I think Nigeria may be different from South Africa, but South Africa, there's a stronghold in the credentialing industry, unfortunately.
We're going to buy anything as a fund first. We must first look for businesses that we've supported that can provide that fund, that can provide that service or the product to us as a fund. Yes, we continue to engage with PPA. One of the things we presented to the government, previous administration, was around is set aside for small businesses.
This session is the first plenary, and it's a very, very important session because a number of things that we want to achieve, not just in this session, but out of this conference, or out of this summit, is sharing best practices, sharing ideas amongst ourselves. And I think it's an opportunity for every one of us across the room to also, learn and see how we can contribute towards that. Access to finance. There are so many opportunities. We have investors, all kinds of opportunities for investments, and we want to also share those opportunities here.
Format that is used by the tech sector to incubate whatever programs they have or can be applied for human capital.
My eyes have been wide open. I've been looking from table to table. What are they doing? What are they saying? And believe me, my notes are very extensive. What we're doing in Nasarawa State is taking advantage of what we have, and that is land. Well, compared to Lagos State and other bigger states, our revenue generation is not too on the, it's just on the average. And so what we are trying to do now is, we've had over the years extensive concentration on structural development.
Our office started out sometimes in March last year. Specifically, we took off around April. And we had a very clear reason why we created the office. And for us, it was, how do we democratize opportunities for everyone? So both people within the blue-collar economy and people within white-collar economy. How do we ensure that young people are actually prepared for the future of work, which is actually where we are today. It's not 10 years' time. The same people came for the last training, are here for the same training, for the next training, for 1 year.
Right, so we're looking at that and looking at, selecting those talents, bringing them out, showcasing them, and more importantly, managing them. Because what exactly happens, they come out, we give them that $1,000 or whatever, 50,000 cash reward, and then they go back into Ijebu Ode.
When talking about employability, many people say, oh, young people are not employable, but I don't agree. I think young people are employable, but what they are employable for might not be what they want to do.
So every year we get better. Everywhere we look at it, what is the needs of the market? How can we fill that needs? If it's capacity training, we will do it. Digitalization is here. There are trainings, we organize trainings, we organize capacity trainings, we organize network sessions with partners to bring up to speed of what is going on in the market.
Question. A lady sent in a question, and one of the questions has to do with creating partnerships for bargaining power. One of the ways that women businesses can thrive is when the opportunities for us to bargain together in terms of being able to create programs in that light. It's coming together for bargaining power. And that has also a direct impact to policy. How can women come together and create clusters where we can become a force?
Okay, last week I was at ExxonMobil, then from there I went to Chevron, then I went to, let me not call names, I was jumping in and out of offices, trying to convince these large corporates to buy from women-owned businesses. I was like very honest. I said, listen, I know you women want someone to be telling you, we have to take this thing from men. Men have always put us at the background. I said, well, he goes with a blue bird, sold us our feedstock. We just want to get the right product at the right price at the right time. Case closed.
The journey of entrepreneurship requires different operational requirements and knowledge or know-how that most business owners are not equipped to have when they're starting out. And so you will realize that there's always a gap. So in my own consulting process, there's always a question of, oh, I didn't know I needed to do that. I didn't know I needed to do that. So in spite of all these sessions or programs that are created for women, I think that most importantly, for those who are women focused, I'm speaking about WeConnect and the women banking, there needs to be a program to put the woman through a proper integration program.
Women themselves, but then the organization that is producing the products for the women, you also need to be gender diverse.
These are women below the income, of course, underserved communities where they do not have a means of livelihood tools. So we are looking for volunteers who volunteer not your money or anything, but then to give up your plastic waste or your packaging waste. Sometimes it's not only plastic. We have paper waste coming from our offices.
To prove that you did what you said you could do. And that's another major thing that most organizations lose. That's track. We all need to be able to demonstrate. So I didn't say show, but demonstrate our track. That we said we can do this, we did it. And why did we do it? Because at the end of the year, okay, I was audited. And they will bring this and also show my impact analysis, my impact study. There must be an impact study. And these things cost money, but you know what? It's money well spent. It's money that, it shows that you are accountable. It shows that you are taking into consideration how well you're using the person's money. you're thinking about them, and that's another thing. And you don't do projects and programs where you put all the money on salaries.
But imagine if we came for this event and Osaine and I just stay together for the next 2 days, and we don't go out and meet other people. So you have to step out of your comfort zone and go. It's not for some people. It's not. Some people are not. They're not very comfortable meeting people, but you have to shake yourself out of it. There is no other mistake. But I just thought, my goodness, so how could you have missed that?
When it comes to business, when you're there talking business, just be present at that particular time. Show up. A lot of times, I mean, people say I go to a lot of places, but I'm showing up. I think that helped me over the years.
So the moment I shut my trap and I'm listening more to what you're doing, and I'm thinking of how I can help you, right? Then it puts you in the mind. So when I was working in Faith Foundation, I wanted to help everybody.
The importance of this table is for us to see where you should plug in.
For a lot of, policy makers to draw policies around something which is pretty uncertain as of today, and that's a very complex thing to do for a policy maker.
Chatbot engineer, chatbot conversation manager, chatbot, I mean, there are so many jobs now that didn't exist just 12 months ago, right?
That's our website. I'm looking for developers as data scientists. It's huge.
PwC is looking for.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's not going to stop. The demand is so really, it's huge. Organizations want to change, and people think, oh, is this thing really happening in Nigeria? We find a fraud detection AI solution in Nigeria.
How do you explain to that person, and what's literally the hope for? As in, try to speak to that person on terms, and I'd like to hear you on that.
Ensuring that a customer came into a branch, was trying to make a payment, and they felt that the next time it went, it would likely be the same thing. So we looked at different ways we could kind of automate the system. It didn't mean that we took out a teller. It meant sometimes we automated part of the tellering process. It meant that you also look at a way in which the teller understands that technology isn't taking you out. Technology is actually enhancing your process. I'm not looking for a computer programmer. I'm looking for somebody who's willing to learn.
What is Lagos State government doing to encourage people, because we are building smallholder farmers, because we must not take out the power of smallholder farmers. They take care of the community, even if they can't do large scale, but they also cover some space.
And I hope when that takes off, we'll solve a lot of uptakers problem. But the other aspect, particularly for fish production, is the feed mill. About 75% going to 80%. Cost of producing fish comes from the feed mill. We have not gotten a proper alternative look at it. I want to see what can the government do to support that area so that more young people can come in. Because when it comes to investment in that area, people need quite a bit of money, or we have alternative locally that can make that feed mill more profitable. Thank you.
Actually, what led me there was when I got this information of government trying to train people and empower them. But with all my struggles at Alausa, I couldn't get the form. I said, okay, let me go to Agege. When I got to Agege, I was told, given the module and everything. But I now noticed one thing, that for a particular training is 55,000 naira if you are going on weekend training. There are some courses that are 25,000 naira per month. Not that I have much issue about it, but now look at it. How about those who really want to learn this thing? That cost, to me, is still on the high side.
You're in cassava, you want to go into vegetables and all that. You're doing it too, yes, that's what I said. A lot of farmers do that. And if you notice, that's why we don't grow. Check out farmers in other countries. They are focused on something. This one is a cassava farmer. You put everything you have there, you grow with it. You learn it, everything about that. We need to partner and put our land together. You want 200 birds, everybody wants 200 birds in which space? Do you know what it is to get day-old chick to broiler 1.6 kg? People need to come together. When you finish training, don't go and say, this is my farm. This one will say, this is my farm. What's that?